Board meeting of the Jefferson Elementary School District, August 12, 2015 at 7 p.m. And can we get members present?
Marie Brizuela,
Here.
Manufo Liainga Anawai,
Here.
Rebecca Douglas,
Here.
Shaquille Ali.
Here. And let's see, I'll ask Mr. Valenti to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right.
This flag, right hand over your heart. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. And we'll take a brief minute to review the board meeting guidelines and focus on one to report on at the end.
I just left one again.
I have mine.
I'm good.
Good. Good, Ms. Brizola? All right. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I moved, we approve the agenda?
Second the motion?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Special, so the item number 6 will be tabled.
Yes,
I have mentioned these.
well, we can table them in the course of the meeting. So yes, item number 6 will be tabled to a future meeting. Mr. Otidy is out of town, and he had jotted down the incorrect date for this, so we will reschedule him.
All right. Pardon me. And item 7, persons wishing to address the board. There's no cards. Progress, all right. Administrator comments.
I just want to let everybody know that, again, this year, we're going to have a free and reduced application campaign to get everybody to sign up. And anybody who signs up, whether they're approved or not, will be entered into a drawing. The prizes are the same as last year, and they will be provided by Sodexo. So the district is not using its money as it cannot. But I encourage everybody to apply, and we look forward to the drawing.
Great.
So we're getting close to the opening of school. Next Wednesday is the first day of school. This week, we've had many teachers back. We've been offering training in English language arts, mathematics for our general education staff. Our school counselors are being trained on restorative justice. We've met all of our new counselors for the elementary school, so it's really exciting to see them all. And then on Monday, we're going to have a huge institute day for all of our staff, all of our teaching staff and some classified staff on learning reimagined, so focusing on positive behavior intervention support as well as technology integration. So that's happening Monday, and our school then starts on Wednesday.
Is that it? All right, board member acknowledgements and commendations.
Well, I just want to take this opportunity, because I won't be around next week at the beginning of school, to welcome all the teachers back and thank them for their service, and hope that the year kicks off to a great start. I will be taking my oldest son away to college.
Exciting.
I'm going to echo the sentiments of Dr. Douglas, that I'd also like to extend a big welcome to our teachers and staff and faculty, everyone that's working hard to ensure that our children are safe and provided quality education in all our sites throughout the district. And just really excited for a new school year, so looking forward to it.
As well.
Okay. I would also like to say the same thing. I'll welcome back our teachers, our administrators, and our classified staff, especially when they're going into training, getting ready for school, and look forward to an exciting year. Also, I wanted to say that I did drop over at the Peninsula Partnership. It's new offices over in at the building that's across the street from City Hall. It's great. It's going to have a lot of services there, and it's just going to open up so much for the families that need different services. Instead of going all over the place, there'll be one building that they'll be able to go there. So it was real nice, and I did run into some of our principals and administrators and other folks that dropped in. So it was really nice. And also we had Senator Leno, or Assemblyman Leno, I forget what he is. Anyway, his aide came by to see what we were doing and praising us for what we're involved in. So I wanted to especially talk about that and to say that I did attend the celebration, the luau for the Unity. What's the rest of that? Camp. And I just want to say how absolutely fantastic that program was and what I could see and the presentation. And as you all know, Flo, you've been like the backbone for it, and you're so modest about it. But truly you are, and it showed entirely how it's helping those students. And I want to thank you for what you do, because it is really something. I was able to drag my husband with me, and he enjoyed it immensely as well.
And you were with us to the end. That
To
was
the
a
whole
long
day, yeah. We stayed the whole
Island-
time.
Islander style is a long program, so.
It was. And I think my husband was getting a little tired. I said, just sit down and wait for me, But
Thank you.
he did enjoy it, and I just want to say that I want to recognize how much you put into it. And plus, you had a lot of other help, naturally, because it takes a team to do it, but the leader is the one that makes it all work. So I had to put a good word for you. Now, before I got here, which is why I was almost a little late, because I almost forgot to bring this paper, I did get a message that they wanted me to ask to close the meeting today in memory of Lucille Hilger. Does anybody remember her? She worked 42 years in our district as a speech pathologist. She worked mostly at Thomas Edison, Abraham Lincoln, which is no longer with us, Olympia, that is also closed, FDR, and Pauline Brown, and almost every other school that she worked in. In fact, there was a time when our enrollment was so large that we had double session at FDR school. I mean, we had children everywhere because they were coming out of everywhere, And it was the baby boom, I think. But anyway, and so she ended up holding classes for the students in the boardroom of 101 Lincoln, and because they were just too crowded. But anyway, she was a real positive, wonderful teacher who helped so many students. She passed away on August the 4th, and they will have services for her, but it's kind of way far away. It's in another city. I don't know if it's Ohio, I forget where it is, but it's someplace not nearby. But they did ask me if we could close the meeting in her honor, and she really was a great employee. So,
All right, thanks.
sorry it took long, but
Actually, and that made, while you were doing that, I remember one other thing I did want to say, that although the end of the summer party with the library summer learning is happening tonight, children can continue to turn in their summer learning folders for entry in the drawing for a $1,000 scholarship until the end of the month. So if you didn't get them in, don't quit, get them in.
yeah. Is there a deadline for when they get them in, or?
Yeah, they need to get them in by the end of August
Okay.
31st, I think, assuming that's a day that libraries are open and not a Sunday.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and I'd like to just acknowledge that we did have the Better Together Teachers Conference at San Francisco State. Actually, it was at all over the state, but locally it was at San Francisco State. And I did see Mr. Vidales there, a couple teachers, I think one principal, and I was one of the speakers that day. So it was a great day, and we're still opening up more opportunities to work with San Francisco State to make sure we get highly qualified teachers here from San Francisco State. And then also I went to Policita School yesterday, and Mr. Young showed me around, and I saw the new buildings, the new classrooms, and I was really excited. And I think the students and the faculty and staff should be very proud of what's happening there. So I'm looking forward to the finished product as well.
I will schedule a time for all the board members to do a little brief tour sometime in the next week. But if you can't make that, then just contact me. We'll schedule
Give you
another
a couple
time.
weeks out.
All right, correspondence, any?
Yeah, I have a couple. So, as you know, we turned in our LCAP at the end of the month in June, and the county returned it with some informal clarification. So we have a couple items that we have to be more specific about, and we will be modifying it and bringing it to the board at the next meeting. Doesn't change substantially. What we want to do is just that we were vague in some areas that they wanted more specificity. Another reminder, entering 7th graders need to have their Tdap booster shots before the first day of school. Schools are open and are receiving them through fax, mail, in person, anyway, email, scanned, any way you can get it to the school. They're being accepted. Parents of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders may want to just get their kids to have the shot so that they're ready when they get to 7th grade.
All right. You have any other comments?
No, thank you.
Do you have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Dr. Douglas.
Aye.
Mr. Ali.
Aye.
Okay.
Item D, Legislative Awards Program, formerly Outstanding Legislator of the Year. The administration recommends that the board consider nominating a member of the state legislature or Congress for one of CSBA's 2015 legislative awards.
Yeah, so this is an annual request from CSBA. If there's one particular legislator that we feel or any particular board member feels should be considered, I know there's, in your backup, there's the application. Please feel free to nominate. If you get that to me by August 28th, then the board can consider the nominations at the first September meeting, and you can discuss who you would like to put forward.
All right, thanks. This is just information, so there's no discussion tonight. All right. Item E, CSBA Annual Conference. In the past, board members have attended the CSBA Conference to receive ongoing professional development in a variety of board member competencies. This year, the conference will be held in San Diego on December 3rd through 5th, 2015. There will be discussion to determine whether board members would like to attend this year. The estimated cost of attending the conference for each person is $1,695, and round trip, $850 lodging.
Yeah, that's just the item, how we got to
Oh,
1690.
yeah, that's
I
right.
see.
All right. So $1,695 funded through the board conference budget.
Yes, I have preemptively scheduled at least one board member because we will have one new board member joining us in December. I've preemptively reserved one slot for the, there's the pre-conference, the new board member conference. So we have that, and because I've done that, then I've registered myself. But it's open. Other board members are welcome to attend. You can discuss and let us know if you'd like to attend.
All right.
And I would have to say I would strongly recommend, if you're able to do that, and to do the new board member training session the day before the conference starts. That was extremely worthwhile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. I
Yeah.
mean, if no one else hasn't taken that slot.
No, there's, and also,
Register more.
and we can discuss, Ms. Lee, I know why, the one that I remember when Mr. Ali and I went,
Yeah.
it was
I
like the
missed
first 100 days. That one, I think, is probably, you're beyond that.
Yeah.
But there's another one, as we discussed last year, that you just missed by a week. That's like in February and March, that is more in depth, like in Burlingame. that one might be, but you're welcome to attend the first, brand-new board member one, too. We
Check
can
in with
discuss
you.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, check the stuff. For myself, I think that having done a number of these, that I don't think that I would get enough out of, based on my recent experiences, get enough out to justify the expense. So I will bow out from attending CSBA in San Diego.
All right.
Are you planning to attend?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to attend because I feel I always get something out of it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
I
usually bring
definitely-
it back to everybody,
Yeah.
and at least one person can bring back some stuff. Well, not, I mean, we
Yeah.
have our new
Um,
board members too, but, yeah, I would like to attend, and,
All right.
and I usually also do like to go to the, one that has to do with, the legal part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Some
Not
public
to be difficult or anything, but did you ever present or share anything from last December's CSBA? Because that is part of our bylaws, that's a requirement for attending another one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't remember that we did.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think
It's
you
in
did.
the,
But
bylaws.
we were supposed to. Was that because, right after that, I was
Yeah.
sick?
However, Mr. Ali and I did present
Yeah.
on what we did attend, and
Dig through my papers and do it again. Bring
All
it.
right.
that would be
Wanna
one
do it
option.
before?
Yeah, would need to be
You
done
know,
before we
yeah.
register you.
All right.
Well, the thing is, we have to do it by a certain date, or we're paying more.
And we're beyond the early
We're beyond that date.
Are we?
Yeah.
I thought there were 5 dates.
It's the early registrations is really early. It's like
It's ridiculous.
August
It's like
3rd or
July.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
End of
really?
July, August.
So,
Yeah.
but isn't there, I thought, at least 5 dates? Check it out and see.
Okay. I think
Well,
it's just early, and then it's up to like
Okay.
November 30th or something like that.
Yeah.
So if Mr. Vidalas, you can schedule Ms. Brizuela to present before that date, I
Okay.
think that should be
That'd be fine.
fine. All right.
Mrs. Brizuela, would you prefer the first meeting in September or the second one in September?
I think the second.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll schedule that.
All right. And I always get something out of it as well. I agree
Yeah.
with you, but I'm gonna choose to not go this year and go the next time when it comes to San Francisco.
Yeah. I didn't want to imply that I don't get anything out of it, but the, sort of the cost benefit and out
Well,
for going all the way to
Yeah,
San
it's a
Diego.
shame we have to go to San
It's,
Diego.
and
Right,
it's a
that's-
shame that it's very expensive lodging and so forth, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here.
So,
All right. Any other?
well, let me ask a question before we
Yeah, sure.
move on. Besides going to the conference, isn't there other smaller conferences we can attend that have some of the subject matter?
Correct. Yes, that's what I was speaking about with Ms. Liaiga Anoa'i. There's the Masters in Governance series, as well as the ever so often CSBA does sort of standalone conferences.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I was referring to, and those take place in February and March, and then throughout the year.
And they also
And
have
we all-
one for
I think we
the,
all get a pamphlet that
Yeah.
mailed to us explaining them. So those are available as well as the San Mateo County School Board Association monthly meetings.
so there's also, though, for the legal part of it as well.
Yes.
So if you guys could try to get that information, then maybe I will say, forget San Diego, because I don't see San Diego because I'm in the conference all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, you look out the window before you
It's
hit
a
the
ve-
bed
it's
because
a
you're so
very
tired.
tempting walk to the conference center and then walk back at night.
Yes.
If you didn't get to see anything.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't
I'll
enjoy it.
look on the CSBA website and see if they've got
Okay.
those dates out yet.
And-
Generally, they come out sometime in the fall, but I will put that in an information bulletin
Yeah.
for you to consider.
Yeah, and then I may do the same thing so that we save some of the money, use it closer by where we can just drive.
Mhm. All
Okay,
right,
thank
so
you for
to-
the direction.
To
We will-
clarify, what are,
To clarify, we're registering Ms. Liaiga Anoa'i, a new board member yet to be determined, myself.
all right.
I will wait to hear from Ms. Brizuela after we get those dates on some of the other conferences. They're either in Burlingame or Sacramento.
All
So,
right.
Yeah, Sacramento's not bad.
So do we need to vote on, we need to vote
oh
on this
yes,
right
there
now?
would be an
Mhm.
action on that. So I think a proper action would be to vote to send 2 board members,
Mhm.
and then potentially a third with with the determining if Mrs. Brazilla wants to come, and if the board, if she wants to come, then completion of the requirement that the board has set for
Right.
reporting.
All right.
So I would make the motion then that we send 2 board members, Ms. Liana Anawai and the unknown new board member, and Mr. Vidales, to the conference, the CSBA conference, with the option to send Ms. Brizuela if she decides that that's appropriate after seeing the schedule and completing her report from last year.
A second?
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Item F, contract with TBWB Strategies. And the administration recommends approval of the contract with TBWB Strategies to support the district's efforts in communicating successes, as well as help determine the feasibility of potential sources for additional revenue through a community-funded district improvement and enhancement initiative. Cost of the contract is $6,500 per month for a term of the contract, plus additional expenses for communication materials as specified. I have a question already. So it's $6,500 per month, but do we have the terms?
What they're doing?
How long that is, or?
So how long it is dependent on how quickly we come to a decision. So it would start as early as Monday, and then I would guess that we would have reached somewhat of a decision on whether or not to move forward, how to move forward by April. I did bring it to the board because it might go until May or June, depending on how long the polling process and analysis takes and discussion, and also the cost of the materials may exceed the $50,000 that I have authority. So I wanted board to take action on it, but there will be plenty of board updates through the whole process.
Mhm.
This is for our, I mean, is this, we did it with this company before.
Yes, this,
So-
you remember on June 24th, we had Ms. Sarah
Right.
Stern present alongside Ms. Melinda Dart
Right.
on this process, and board directed me at that time to come back with to seek further clarification and come back with the contract.
I guess my feeling is, since we've worked with them before, is it gonna be all that difficult to, I mean, it's gonna take as much time and as much money, because they already know all the stuff that we did before? I mean, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, so this is
They already have a
the
relationship.
basic arc of the contract would be on communicating a message to our community about what's been done, what's been accomplished, the positive things going on in the district, and also demonstrating that we're not yet where we want to be. As much funding as we've gotten, we're not yet, our students do not yet have the kind of program that we would want to offer. Then early winter would be sort of the time that there's polling of our community and our voters to determine what, if any, support there might be for a community-funded measure, and then the analysis of that, and that would probably be over around March, April. But again, that's where I would say is the quickest would be March if everything happened the way it's supposed to, which would be like a 6 or 7 month contract, and maybe 8 or 9.
So is this the total amount, 6,500?
Yeah, and then the
But it's
cost
per month.
per month.
But I kind of feel like we don't really know how long it's gonna be and how much is it gonna,
Well, I mean,
I feel like it's kind of too wide open.
you can tell me right now till April. I mean, that would, I feel comfortable saying that, not to go beyond April, and if it does, we come back for further authorization.
Yeah, and you had mentioned something about 50,000 being the maximum budget, so, or we could easily, I mean, at least that's what you're forecasting?
Well, no, I'm just saying
Or no,
that
I just want to be clear on what the. is that just
50,000 is the
an
authority
example?
that the board is giving me to enter into contracts and
Mhm.
agreements.
How much did you say?
50,000.
I thought it was 35.
We
It
upped
used to be,
Raised it.
we brought it, Yeah, last year it was upped to 50,000 just to keep pace with current cost of
Okay.
things. It's hardly, you can't get
I can
anything for
explain.
under 35.
So like when vendors come or contractors and they want to do business, if it's over 50,000, then Mr. Vidales has to come and get our approval.
Right.
But if it's up to 50,000, he can enter into the business without.
Yeah, and then I informed the board that this
Right.
is the contract we entered into.
So my question
It's
is,
gonna go over 50, he thinks.
It's potential. I mean, it could be likely that we stay under if we do 7 months, and then if the printing costs are less, but it could get right around 50, a little bit over with
Okay.
printing and everything.
so my question is that something we could incorporate in the wording if we're saying till April or not to exceed 50, or is that automatic, are we
That's true.
automatically to assume that, I'm sorry, I'm new, so.
Yeah, no,
But
I
I'm
think,
just, the 50 just kind of, it rung a bell.
so
with
I
me,
think we
just
can get it
wanted to
under
check.
50 with just the consulting fee. I don't know if we can include all the mailings
Right.
under
Too.
50.
Just for the record, 7 months at that rate is 45,500.
Yeah.
So add one more month or any significant amount of
Mhm.
mailing costs, and we're over 50.
Mhm.
Just thought I'd do the
Yeah.
math here.
All right.
Okay.
S-
I can't help myself.
And we don't know the mailing cost because we don't know the number of pages or addresses and
Right.
all
So
that.
basically, at that time, you would just come back to us and say that you need more money to be.
If we exceed the amount that you tell me, I mean, I wouldn't make it 50 because then there's no need for me to have come to you at all. I would just come to you to ask for more. If you did something 6,500 maximum, 65,000 maximum, then that would be doable, I think.
All right.
And am I hearing this correctly? This is just for one brochure that goes out
No.
to notify people?
No, it's at least 2 different mailings, maybe 3. I think
I
that's what we
mean-
did last time.
And I mean, my understanding is it's also, I mean, looking at what they're saying, I mean, you're saying get some sense of the community for whether they would be behind another community-supported initiative. That would involve some polling as well.
Correct.
And that would be where a chunk of that cost
Oh,
would
that's
come
right.
in.
Yeah, so they don't do the polling. They do help us develop the survey. The polling is done by another
Oh,
organization.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was.
So,
Whoa.
And then if there is support and the board determines to move forward, they do help to draft the language that could be used in a measure.
right. Well, we go through this every time we look at something like this, and, the reality is it costs money to even lay the groundwork or do the research to run a campaign, and
Yeah, and there are some positive benefits out of this, even if we decide not to move forward, in the sense that we've gotten the message out to the community. This is what we're doing. This is what we're working on. These are the dreams and the hopes that we have for our students, your students, our community.
and enhancing that communication is one of our board goals,
Right.
or district goals.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. I know that's something we discussed before, so thank you for the clarification.
So I think I would make a motion then that we.
Well, I think we have a speaker.
Oh, that's right, we do have a speaker.
So I'll go ahead and bring you up then. Melinda Dart, AFT President.
Thank you, Linda Dart, AFT. Yes, I did want to communicate that I would urge that the board vote yes on spending this money, even though it seems like a lot. I feel some urgency regarding the need to both communicate our successes to our community. I feel that we just can't do that enough, and it may be that we need new ways to do that we haven't thought of yet. And also, we need to poll people in the best way possible. I feel that our community is rapidly changing around us right as we stand here or sit, and that we need to get a pulse on it. And then along with that, I feel urgency because in a few years, Prop 30 ends, which has brought us this revenue, which has helped us so much. But we have not yet managed in our town to pass community-funded district improvement enhancement initiative, local funds that can't be taken away, that are only just for our school district. And other school districts around us have managed to do that, a lot of them, including the high school district, but we haven't managed it. And so we need help. I myself do not feel adequate to, embark on this without help. Unfortunately, that kind of help comes at a price, but I think it's well worth it if we can get good advice and solid, good pieces to go out to the community, and if we can embark on a really successful, campaign, and also a successful promotion of our wonderful school district. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
I think probably the one problem we may have, and we have in the past, is that we got two districts, both with Jefferson's name in it. And sometimes when you go door to door to talk to people, they go, I just voted for that. And boy, that's a high school.
We can put that on there as part
But,
of
I
what they
mean,
need
that has to be
communicate.
emphasized,
Yeah. If
really emphasized.
Sorry, if I could just step
Yeah.
in one more time.
Yeah, go ahead.
They are, you probably know, doing their work this coming June. But yes, we should really, really try our best to differentiate ourselves and find out how that could work.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we can also work together with them, at least I can, with their teachers to
Yes.
help promote our cause.
Exactly. So I would hope that would be part of our campaigning to,
Certainly think so, yeah.
and perhaps let them see what we have done. And Paulicita's a great thing that we can put in, and people will see that and say, wow, they're working to do something good over there. So, enough said with that.
Yeah, so then I would like to make a motion that we approve that up to $65,000.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Salary schedules.
Item G, salary schedules for 2015 to 2016 school year. The governing board annually approves salary schedules for district employees. The administration recommends approval of district employees' salary schedules for 2015-2016 school year. Straightforward.
Yep.
Salary schedules are annually approved as it reads, incorporate the additional compensation negotiated last spring with our employees.
Yeah, that was the question I wanted to
Yep.
make sure.
And we
have
already
that in there.
negotiated it.
Somebody said to me today, is it extra? Is something extra? I'm sorry.
We've
Not this
started,
time.
yeah, we've started the practice, I think, maybe 4 years ago of annually
Yeah.
approving the salary
Yeah.
schedules. STRS has been, and CalPERS have been really diligent at making sure final compensation data and information
Yeah.
reflects board action. So
Yeah.
So that's where it's
they just want to
very
make sure that, someone says, my final year of work was X, and this is how much I made, and that there's board action that backs it up. Otherwise, we have to put together the pieces for them. So we've had a couple of employees audited, and there was a period of time when we didn't do this annually. So now we do it annually.
That's great.
Good job.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the salary schedules as presented for our teachers and classified, et cetera, everybody. District employees.
Second.
That
I second it.
encompass everybody.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item B of,
There you go.
curriculum and instruction, item B will be tabled because no one was able to show up from Soul Shop.
Yep. Yeah, they're having an executive leadership retreat, and so all of their representatives were away. They will come to the next meeting.
Okay.
I just want to mention that it was originally on the consent agenda, but because it's a big contract, I felt
Yeah.
like it would be good for them to come and talk to us about what they do.
So,
And it's the first time that we've had the contract with them district-wide.
yeah.
Right, so that was the other reason we're expanding into the middle schools as well, so.
And I think it's nice if we're gonna put something on the agenda that they do speak, because if the few people that watch us, if someone is watching it, then they're getting to learn about it too.
That's
So
right.
we're supposed to be blowing our horn, right?
Yeah,
Right?
you're right.
Yeah.
So,
All right, great.
Okay.
So we're all on the same page?
so that's gonna be next meeting, our next meeting then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that brings us all the way to where?
I think it's almost the
I can
end.
tell it brings us all the way to board policies.
Yep, it does,
13.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, board policies, administrative regulations. October 2014, board policy revisions, AR 3350.2, staff in service and business expense guidelines, AR 3350.3, travel and conference guidelines, and BP 4121, personnel, second reading.
We do have one change, one modification to
Change?
make here.
Okay.
Where is it at?
It's BP 3350.2. 3.3. We find it here.
Travel conference guidelines.
Bottom of page 4.
Am I not?
I'm sorry, we're not following you.
Yeah, the bottom of page 4 of policy 3350.3.
3351?
3350.
3350.3. I believe
That's
it's.
somewhere way through this.
I'm not sure if it'll be on page 4.
It's not page
It's not, it's
4
not. I
here,
don't see
no.
it.
Trying to see
You're
if I can
saying-
get to.
Board policy 33, it's 1312. We got different numbers, you guys.
You got different page numbers. Let me see.
Page 4 of what?
Of that
Of
section
that
on
section.
3350.3, you said?
3350.3, which should be the
Yeah.
third
It
policy
is,
in your packet.
right,
Should be the
it
third.
is page 26 of the whole packet, if you're looking at, although I don't know if you.
I don't
probably
think
have
our,
page
the numbers are
there.
not
Yeah.
the pages aren't numbered.
Okay. And then we're looking down at the,
Oh.
so where's the change?
All right, it would be on.
Oh, okay, we found it.
Okay.
It is
the
further
fourth
back.
page of that policy, I
1,
believe.
2.
Under the section meals, all itemized receipts must be provided.
Okay.
All meals, okay.
Just made it go away. There we
The
go.
third paragraph
2, 3.
should read,
Oh, here, $70.
last parenthetical statement there, it says equivalent to lunch at $24 plus breakfast. It should be $25.
Oh,
So,
whoops.
just to make
boy.
sense with the rest of the numbers that we put into
No,
the
because
policy,
otherwise
so.
the math isn't so good,
Yeah.
is it?
I didn't
And the
bother to
purpose
add
of
it.
revising this was to reduce confusion, so.
There we are again.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Is that the only change?
I can get behind that
That was the only
correction.
change that we found on it.
Yeah, I didn't have any, and I missed that.
Yeah, I
Because I didn't redo the math.
Yeah, I didn't do the math on that one.
Look like reasonable amounts to me. Okay. Does anybody else have a question or
No, we didn't have one last time either.
then I will make the motion that we accept the board policies / ARs as listed with the one correction proposed by Mr. Vidales.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Really? Board member comments and reports and reflection on board meeting guidelines. Fast. Starting from Ms. Douglas.
Okay, well, I picked a good one again because I was going, well, we'll keep our remarks brief and to the point and get through, and I think we did a pretty good job on the whole of that. Certainly, this may be a record
Meeting?
for the end of our regular meeting.
For Mr. Ali, at
Close.
least.
Yeah.
For Mr. Ali.
Pretty close.
Yeah, so, that's all the reflecting I'm doing.
All right.
Yeah, mine was too, at the end of each meeting, we will reflect on how well we followed our meeting guidelines and addressed our goals, and I thought we did that amazingly well and in a wonderful time, and it's a great way to end summer.
That's true. That is true. All right, Ms. Brizuela?
Well, I picked, we will listen actively to all ideas. We will listen openly and without preparing responses, and I think we did that. And still came to a good approval at the end.
Yep. We will stay focused on our goals and avoid getting sidetracked. We will keep our focus on the best interests of our students. And that was easy to do tonight. Everything was straightforward. We got a lot of business done, so I feel good.
Yours is doing it too.
All right, persons wishing to address the board on closed session items. We do not have any.
Okay.
So now we will convene to
Take our-
closed session.
5-minute recess to make
Yeah.
the transition.
Well, all right, take a short
So,
recess. and-
we do have, why don't we just take a moment now to acknowledge the individual that Mrs. Brizuela named, Lucille Hilger. And do you have the names of 2 other individuals there?
Also, a moment of silence for Ali Sabahi, husband of Deborah Sabahi, teacher at Franklin D. Roosevelt Elementary School and daughter of former Personnel Commissioner Wilda Kelleher, and Melissa Wong, daughter of Jean Wong, office assistant at Marjorie H. Tobias Elementary School.
So, okay, this after.
Short recess.
Oh my God.
These guys clear up our messes.
He's not that old. I know your daughter.
I'm not,
My God,
no, we shouldn't.
it is.
So are those
Did it-
leaking?
Do you know what happened?
They are.
They had to return one that was leaking, so now they're all leaking.
Well, it seems to depend a little bit on, see, now it's not. But
Good night.
Yeah, I
it was
know.